Thus begins the prophecy.
Hey guys, it's Rehabilitated Jagus back here with another Dawn of War Unification video. And in today's video I'm going to try break down the Ynnari race. I must say as a disclaimer, I haven't played too many games with this race yet, but since I just love playing as them so much, I thought I'd sort of make this video as a way for any new players who want to try breaking into this race. This video should hopefully make things a little more simpler if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed when you first go into a game playing as this faction. My goal here is to make things a bit easier for you to understand how they work as a whole. But watch out in the future, maybe I'll make like an extensive video, or perhaps just watch the Laughing Max's video on this race where he goes into great detail about pretty much everything there is. But yeah, this will just be a kind of a short video explaining what I have discovered myself. So let's get into a game here. I'm gonna have the dev mode on just while I explain the race, and let's jump into it.
The enemy is near.
Okay, here we go. So I'm just gonna wait for a bit because there is a little thing that happens when you first start a game as Ynnari.
Thus begins the prophecy. From decisive moments the war is won. No more time for wraithbone to be spun. Paint armor bloody with life that has run. From the brink to fight they come. Thus ends the prophecy.
Yeah, okay, so every time you start a game as Ynnari, that little prophecy dialogue pops up. I don't quite know how it works. Like, I get the gist of it. Basically what it means is you have to make 4 certain units, and the hint for those units are given in that little prophecy. That's the gist of how it works. But if you really want to like fully understand it, again, I'd recommend checking out Laughing Max's video. I'll put a link in the description below as well as the timestamp. So that was one thing that I just wanted to just quickly get out of the way for Ynnari. Now, Ynnari, I don't really know much about the lore, but in this mod, they're a mix of Elder, Dark Elder, and the Harlequins. So you'll see that when I make the infantry portal here, right? So in general, I like to start with the infantry portal. And then now you have the 3 options to unlock. So you got the Craft World add-on, which is for the Elder units. Dark Elder, obviously, Dark Elder units. And then the Harlequin add-on for Harlequins, so on and so forth. You will end up having to make a lot of choices. If you know what race your opponent is before you start the game, then it does kind of help. But if you don't really know, then generally I like to start off with maybe Craft World just for the Rangers. You unlock the Rangers first, and as we know, Rangers have nice long range and do good morale damage, right? Alternatively, you can also go for the Dark Elder, which will give you the Warrior Squads. And if you're familiar with Dark Elder, Warrior Squads have very high DPS. You just have to be careful because they're also pretty weak. That's another thing about Ynnari units. Pretty much all of them are pretty low in the HP area, so just be careful about that. Now, if we go for the Harlequin add-on, we get these mimes. And so these guys are our kind of like our melee specialists. They can detect infiltrated units, and they can also infiltrate themselves once you build the Soul Armory later on. The Soul Armory, unlike the Elder, is kind of like your research building, but it doesn't make you go tier 2. It's not your tier 2 building, like the Soul Shrine is for Elder. So if we build this, we have a few researches we can do. I'll quickly just break them down. So this one is unlocks an ability. All the buttons in this square unlock abilities for Yvraine, which we'll just make it real quick actually. So she's made in the HQ. She is our primary commander unit. Yep, and she has some abilities along here. So doing these researches will unlock more of the abilities, okay? One other important thing I should explain is this section here. So right now mine is set to 99. But when you first start the game, it'll be set to 0, right? 0, 0. Don't get confused like I did when I first played the race and I thought these were buttons and I was clicking there for ages. No, it's a counter, right? So every time you lose a squad, of units. Maybe it caps at 99 actually. Either way, each time you lose units, this counter will go up to the number of units that you lost. And basically this is like a resource you can use to spend on abilities. For example, if we look at this ability here, you can see the purple skull and then the 5 next to it. So this costs 5 souls. I believe that they are, yeah, souls. So some things do have a cost, and it's important to check out for that. But back to the researchers, yeah, we've got our standard increase the commander's HP, also unlocks embolden for your warlocks. You got grenades, fleet of foot. The fleet of foot works a little bit different. It's not a toggle ability. You sort of click it once and then it will recharge. But for a short period of time, your units will move faster. Accuracy will still be reduced, by the way. And then we have obviously we have our armor upgrade. I think this one is absolutely necessary. You need it to give your units a little bit more durability because, as I mentioned, they are very, very fragile. Grenades. And then this is the infiltration. So now our mimes are invisible. Rangers are invisible too. It affects a bunch of units, that invisibility research. Also, building the Soul Armory will unlock the Hellion squads in Tier 1, and also the Harlequin troop. Okay, so as you saw, making the Harlequin troop was part of that prophecy. I can't even remember what she said, but whatever she said, she was talking about the Harlequin troops. Harlequin troops are also good in melee, not infiltrated like the mimes, but I believe they do obviously more damage. You can also equip them with the Harlequin Kiss, which is effective against lesser demons and infantry. They can finish off those low health units. Kind of like the Death Cult Assassin, I suppose. So yeah, and Hellions, obviously just standard Dark Elder melee unit that can jump. That's probably what the unique thing about them. So yeah, that's tier 1.5. Now we can move on to... I try clicking this, but it doesn't reveal the prophecy, so I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong here, but every time I try to reveal the next steps, it doesn't do it for me. But maybe I'm just doing something wrong. So like with going tier 2, if you have enough souls, like for example, this tier 2 research costs 20 souls, or you can pay 250 blue and 250 green. It's up to you what you want to do. But once we hit tier 2, we unlock this Gyrinx here in the HQ. And what this unit does is you can attach it to Ynnari here, and then now it'll follow her around. And I believe it detects infiltrated units, and it reduces her ability cooldowns. So that's very nice. Moving on to the infantry portal, we unlock the striking scorpions. More melee specialists, but these guys are infiltrated. And I think tanky, a little bit stronger, and yeah, in many ways than the mimes. Very, very nice unit actually to have, especially when they're not detected, and you can just delete your opponent's enemies with this squad. Very, very good squad. And then we have the witches. Yeah, just your typical witches, you know, from Dark Outer. Can use their ability, that drug that makes everything... Do they get a movement speed? They just get morale immunity and an increased attack rate, but it also looks like they move faster too. I don't know if that's part of the ability. I don't really know, to be honest. Yep, and Death Jesters. Oh man, these guys are amazing. So they come out as just one unit and reinforce up to 3. But on the one hand, they do extremely high DPS, very decent range. Yeah, just an all-around good support unit. You want them in the back lines, messing up your opponent's infantry. I think the bullets or whatever they shoot actually does like a area of effect damage. That's what it appears to be when I watch it, but I could be wrong. And then if you need them to be anti-vehicle, you can add some bright lances to them. Very good stuff. Now that we're at tier 2, we can make our support portal right here, and this will have all our vehicles. Kind of a similar thing with the infantry portal. We have 3 add-ons here, so we got Craft World, Dark Elder, and Harlequin, obviously. Pretty self-explanatory. In this early tier 2 stage, we get a few vehicles here, so we got the War Walker. My god, War Walker. Jesus Christ, why is that so hard to pronounce? This is a vehicle unit. It's ranged, and it's effective against infantry. Not much else to say about it, pretty standard. You can add some lasers to it, scatter lasers. I guess if you need a bit of armored protection to soak up some damage for your fragile troops here, this is a good one to go for. I don't really make it too much, but it is a nice cheap option here. And then we have the Telos. This one's a bit expensive, 200 blue to 300 green. But as you know, this one is a more durable vehicle. Very effective in close combat. Effective against infantry, heavy infantry, and vehicles. And pretty good against buildings too, I think. You know, if your opponent has vehicles, maybe you don't want this guy, you want this guy, but just bear in mind, yeah, he is pretty expensive. And then we have the jet bike. It's a very mobile unit, you know. I think it even says in the description it's specialized in, yeah, hit and run tactics. They can jump too. Very good stuff. Very, not very strong though. Only 350 HP, so you got to be careful with this one. Makes me think of the Dark Elder Reaver jet bikes, but just that, you know, these ones can jump. You can obviously do the research to make all these vehicles a bit stronger. Oh, maybe it isn't here. You need tier 3 first though. And then this one, I like, the Venom. This is your transport vehicle. So one combo I like to do is grab my Death Jesters, put them into the Venom here. You can fit 2 squads. And then you can just jump them around and really just cause a lot of trouble for your opponent with this strategy. You can make, how many can you make? 3. 3 mechs, okay. And after building the support portal, if we go back to our infantry portal, we also unlock the Swooping Hawk squad. So these guys are pretty much more ranged units, pretty long range, and they also have a jump capability, and the range on this jump is pretty long. As you can see, very nice damage. So just another really mobile unit, only effective against infantry, I believe. No sort of anti-vehicle counters. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind for all these units. They are, you know, kind of specialized in their own way. Am I missing anything else? Another thing I like about Ynnari is just they're just pretty straightforward. It all looks daunting at first, but it's not too much. Obviously the webway gates function the same as the outer webway gates, except that they cannot produce units or turn invisible. They can, however, oh sorry, wait, what did that say? Relocation. Oh yes, you can relocate. It allows you to relocate your buildings. Okay. I thought that was the Healing Matrix 1 research, but no, it's the relocation. Okay. Moving on to tier 3. We now unlock this guy, the Vice-Arch. Secondary Commander. He can also be attached to Yvraine, but you must detach the Gyrinx first before attaching him to Yvain. And so he's kind of like Yvain's bodyguard. He protects her. I assume he adds HP to her. He's also a very good combat unit, as you can see. So yeah, very nice unit to have in tandem with Yvain here. And going to the infantry portal now, we unlock some pretty powerful units here. The first ones I'm going to talk about are the Corsairs. As you can see, these guys are extremely weak. What's that? 1500 for 4 in a squad. 750, 375 HP each, which is not a lot. These guys especially, you have to be very careful, but they have very nice ranged damage. And you can also equip them with a variety of anti-heavy infantry, anti-morale, anti-vehicle. Very good stuff here. I usually go for the Bright Lancers. These things are insane. They rip apart vehicles and buildings pretty damn well. So you can make a limit of 2 though, and that applies to all these tier 3 units. So if I want to make them, I can only have maximum of 2 at a time. Right? The next one, Trueborns. Again, another pretty good ranged unit, but they have a little more durability than these Corsairs. And they also have a wide range of special weapons to choose from here. Infantry, demons, vehicles, buildings, aircraft, morale. This one's effective against all targets. And this one's effective against infantry as well as heavy infantry and light vehicles. From what I hear, these guys are pretty strong. I don't believe I have really necessarily made them. Like I said, they have more HP than these guys, so maybe it'd be worth, depending on the situation, going for these guys, you know, if you need it. Having said that, the Corsairs also have fleet of foot, so, but basically that's how those guys work. And then we have Shadow Dancers. So Shadow Dancers, like their previous Harlequin counterparts, are very good in melee, pretty durable as well. They get some anti-vehicle weaponry here as well, or like their Harlequin troops, they can also get the Harlequin Kiss, which also can finish off low health units. And if you do this research here, the hollow suits, your Harlequin troops will also become harder to hit because of this confetti stuff. Very good indeed. And for the rest of the researchers, you know, you got night shields, obviously make your vehicles a bit tankier. Vehicle hollow fields, I think this is for, let's see here. So hollow fields turn the Harlequin vehicles into a blur of colors. So the Harlequin vehicles, oh right, okay, so this is for the Dark Elder vehicles. This one is for Harlequin vehicles. And both make the vehicles harder to kill, I'm guessing. You can also get Wraith Guards from the support portal here. Wraith Guards are like heavy infantry, but they also cost vehicle cap. Basically, they're these slow-moving units, but very strong. Like these ones are very powerful at range. And again, multitude of special weapons to choose from, depending on the situation. Just look for whatever it's effective against, like vehicles, aircraft, buildings, heavy infantry, light vehicles, infantry, demons. Effective against all ground targets, but usually that means that there's, like, it might have a low rate of fire or something, right? And then we have the Wraith Blades, kind of like the Wraith Guard, but these guys are melee specialists. So if you need to tie up your opponent, these guys are the way to go. As I said, they can tank quite a bit of damage. Moving on to the Dark Elder here, we have the Raven. This is an aircraft unit. It can also disable buildings, I believe. Yes. Buildings and vehicles. It's an EMP pulse here. And it's effective against infantry, heavy infantry, and vehicles. Well, all units, I think. Very nice mobile aircraft to have. And then we have the Razor Wing jet fighter. This is it's pretty expensive. But it's a very decent aircraft. Good against buildings, vehicles, and other aircraft. Yeah, this one is definitely worth it. I've made this one a few times, and you can do some really good things with it if you just manage to micro it properly. Yeah, it's a very good unit to have. What else can I say? Maybe you'll see me use it in a game. You can only make one, so that should really explain it right there. Wraithwalkers. These guys are pretty much the dreadnoughts of the faction. Starts off with anti-building and anti-vehicle capabilities, but really it can be effective against almost anything. Again, add the Bright Lance or the repeater autocannon, up to you. It all depends on the situation. I like to just make a couple of these, three of these, and just go straight into the enemy base and attack their buildings. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. And now we can move on to the tier 4 research here. And once we do that, we unlock our relic unit. I think this is the relic unit.
The death of many have resulted in my existence.
The Ynnari. Obviously, demon unit. Once again, just all-round versatile unit. Good against buildings, infantry, heavy infantry, and extremely tanky as well. 17,000 HP. Very hard to kill this unit. So that's pretty much all there is in terms of their troop tree. Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk about the tier 4 vehicles. So we got the 9th Spinner. This is your artillery tank for the Ynnari. Do our disruption capabilities. Ravagers. You see this unit with the Dark Elder in vanilla as well. Starts off anti-building, anti-vehicle, all that sort of stuff, but then you can upgrade the weapons into disintegrators, which will rip apart infantry alike. And same as with this one, you can only make a limit of 2 of the tier 3-4 vehicles. And then we have the Mockingbird. Let me quickly read up on this one again. I guess this one is good at breaking morale by the sounds of it. It's a kind of like a skimmer vehicle, so it's pretty fast, pretty mobile. And obviously has a wide range of weapon loadouts for heavy infantry, vehicles, and buildings. Lots of anti-building, lots of anti-vehicles here. So yeah, depending on the situation, there's actually a lot you can work with. That's why I kind of like this faction a lot, is because if you need something, you can just be, oh, enemy is rushing vehicles. Oh wow, well no problem. I can make a razor wing jet fighter. You know, the vehicles have like 200,000 HP. All good. I'll just make some Corsair heavy weapons and upgrade them with Bright Lances. No worries, easy. So yeah, once you get used to the faction, get familiar with all the units, then you'll become pretty decent player with this faction. I feel like, yeah, these guys are pretty nuts when you use them correctly. one final thing I wanted to talk about are these red Crone Sword shard locations. So these only pop up if there is a player that is Ynnari in the game. And basically, if you capture all 6, I think it is 1, 2. I could be wrong. It could be 5 actually. I don't know where I got 6 from. But basically, if you can capture all of them, I think your units get a damage buff. Basically, your units will start to glow, and then yeah, I think they just get a damage buff. Honestly, one big misconception with these locations is if you build a listening post on them that you'll gain requisition, but you won't. You won't gain requisition from building LPs on the Crone Sword locations. I think the misunderstanding comes from when you do this soul boost, which costs 4 souls to do, then the listening post will start giving requisition, but I believe it only lasts for a while. But basically that ability lets you boost your resource rate for a certain amount of time. Same thing applies to the power boost as well. You can, as you can see, it increases your power rate there. Is there anything else I'm missing about this race? Oh, of course, your, you know, Titan building. So here you can make some Titan class units. I think I should have captured a critical location first though to activate that. But as you can see here, yeah, we have 2 choices of Titans. I'll just quickly capture this critical location and then I'll show you both. Okay, so there's our critical location done, and let's make the Void Dragon Phoenix here. It's kind of like a bigger version of this aircraft. But, you know, 11,000 HP, it's an aircraft, and what can I say? It's a beast, right? It's a very strong, is it a Titan class? Yeah, Titan class unit, so what more can you say about that? And then you have the Phantom Titan. This is the tier 2 Titan unit. Again, an absolute beast. By the time you get this out, the game is probably already over, so there you go. Okay, well, that's pretty much all that I have to say about the Ynnari. I'm going to play a game against the AI and kind of explain my decisions to hopefully help you understand them a little bit more. Alright, so I'm going to hop into this 1v1 against the insane AI on Valley of Corn. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the infantry portal here, make 1 Bone Singer and then 2 Storm Guardians. Kind of similar to the Elder build. At the same time we'll queue a generator up. Our prophecy will begin.
Upon Wravebone feet your doom will tread. Their aspect hue turns mortal red. Dark messages through shadows spread. Thus ends the prophecy.
So I have no idea what that means, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Gonna go for the Dark Elder add-on here. And we're just gonna make some warriors, and then we also queue up Yvraine, because we will need her as well. Unlike Elder Guardians, these Storm Guardians prefer melee, I believe. But I think you can switch between both.
As ever, we serve the craft world.
And just queue up our cap orders. Okay, and with this, Warrior Squad will go out and harass. And just build our LPs up here. Just go see what race our AI is.
We have succeeded in our objective. Instruct us, Farseer.
Yeah, you guys can see after I take my little break from RTS games, I'm like really... The APM be good. The APM is good. So we have... Is that Dark Angels? Okay, Yvraine is out here.
We have taken
Wow, even in the heavy cover, is that heavy cover? Yeah, even in heavy cover the warriors don't last that long. It's unfortunate. Yeah, we'll just have to pull back a little bit here. Wait for your rain to arrive. And we'll just start capturing our crone swords. So at this stage we're pretty alright. I'll just use the ability. That ability also slows down units, which is very nice. It deals a lot of damage to singular units. Chase him, your rain, chase him. Okay. Now I can think about going tier 2. I just need more power first. What do we got? More scout marines? Okay, interesting. They are kiting me like hell, so I'm just gonna go into ranged. Here, it'll be much easier than just chasing them around the frickin' map. Not melee, why are you guys going melee? There we go. Okay. We'll go tier 2 now. So as you can see, my stored souls are at 0 because I haven't actually lost any units yet. But once my units start dying, then that counter is going to go up. Ah, why you guys sit to melee? So the company master is out. Yes, this is Dark Angels. We can just use our ability on, kind of like Mind War, but it actually slows at the same time. We will just make another warrior squad just to make things a little easier for us. Just run around. Oh no, we can go melee now. He shouldn't be able to kill us. We should be able to kill him first. Here we go. And actually, I think I'm going to make the Soul Armory as well. Just to get some nice upgrades for our units. Get another generator going. We'll just capture these critical locations too, because why not? Oh, a Space Marine squad. To tie those guys up. Okay. What can I make now? Witches would be nice. Yeah, I'm gonna make witches, honestly. I like the sound of that.
Would you like to hear whispers? The fates show I must go there and his embassy. As ever, we serve the craft world.
Just keep building up our stuff. Those witches because they have nice melee damage here, and also we have the Dark Elder Stone, so why not? And the witches, we'll just overwatch them. Hopefully we'll be able to kill this commander before you can kill us. Yes. Uh-oh, my mouse is stuck. Again, just hit F10. There we go. We'll build the support portal now. A bit late, but it's fine. Get a webway thingy. Can we take out this listening post, I wonder? Who's getting focused? Ynnari is getting focused. Yes, there we go. Okay, we'll get the armor. And this AI doesn't give up. Alright. Always with the, okay. We'll see if I can get Death Jesters or something. You have to be careful because your rain is super low. That's what, 3 commanders now? That taken out. God, these warriors run really fast. Okay, and we can just go tier 3. What vehicles can we make? I'm also gonna make the Dark Elder add-on for the support portal here. Here we go. Can I? Death Jesters, here we go. And we'll make a webway gate in our base as well, just so the units can pretty much instantaneously travel to the side of the map. I like that mechanic a lot. So yeah, this is an example of my kind of playstyle with this race. But obviously there are many ways you could be, many different situations that you can prepare for. It's a really nice, versatile race. And yeah, Death Jesters are here now. I can even upgrade them with anti-buildings just to take out this HQ a little faster. Kill that builder really quickly. Yeah, here we go. Look at that. Good stuff. That's what we like to see. And of course, when you're floating, focus on your economy a little bit. But yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. Bright Lance is out for these Death Jesters. Look at how quickly this HQ goes down. So as you probably saw, like, yeah, I was doing lots of damage, but at the same time I was also losing quite a few troops. Actually, if we look at the post-game summary here. Okay. Well, I only lost 13, but I wasn't really being too careful, so if you just, pay attention and micro your troops properly, you'll do fine. I believe in you. I might make a separate video later on where I exclusively play the Ynnari against the real opponent, perhaps. Hopefully this video still helped you in some way. Hope you enjoyed it. And, yeah, I will see you in the next one. Peace.